as I look at all of this, I also remember that there was a time when I was so stuck in my own brain fog and decision fatigue that none of this would have been possible. I was struggling. In fact, it was the summer of 2014, June. I'm in Portland, Oregon. I live just 2 blocks from OHSU, which is the main teaching hospital in Portland, Oregon, where I am a general surgery resident and just finishing up 3rd year. And I was in transplant surgery rotation. And as the 3rd year was the resident who was leading that transplant team. And that's when my brain and my body crashed. And this was my lowest point. And at the time, I had been struggling with brain fog for a couple years, definitely growing over that last year before it just kind of shut down on me. But I had been ignoring it. I had been pushing through, and thanks to caffeine, food, exercise, I had been able to ignore those warning signs because I didn't know that they were warning signs. And when I woke up this morning in June in 2014, that is still what was one of the first things that hit me was my brain just feels like it has shut down. The thoughts just are not clear. They're not sharp. They're not fast. My brain's not available to me. And it makes everything feel hard. I had been diagnosed, if you will, with chronic stress and burnout. And we were in the process of doing labs and trying to figure out what was the reason for that. But in the meantime, I had been placed on 2 mood medications, 2 antidepressants to help with both anxiety and depression. And yet what I was struggling with was being overweight, the decision fatigue, the brain fog, the body fatigue, and not knowing what all of that meant. And it was at this point when I also realized that there was a larger component to that, because as I go to get up that morning, I just realized, like my arms are so heavy. They don't want to move. My brain is so tired. It doesn't want to start the day. And I literally just wanted to pull the covers back over my head and make the day go away, make life go away. And in that moment, in that morning, there was these memories that came up for me of memories when I had been out biking and hiking and feeling alive. And that is not what I felt then. I felt the very opposite of that. And I made a decision to get back to that place, whatever I needed to do in order to get well. And for me, that meant get back on my bike, get back to feeling that energy and that aliveness, and to do the things that brought me joy. Because continuing to live life like this, where I felt like my brain and my body were shutting down and betraying me, was not what I wanted for the rest of my future. I did not know that when I made that decision that I would need to go on this whole healing journey and learn what I would like to teach you guys today. And so much of what I learned was what I could have prevented if I had known what the decision fatigue and the brain fog actually meant. But that was what I learned in the process and what I want to teach you guys today. Because what I've discovered is that there actually is not just a going back to maybe a previous state of health that we've had, but there's actually a greater degree of wellness and health and aliveness that is possible for us when we do the work that I want to share with you today in this holistic healing approach for decision fatigue and brain fog.